So Sean, the reality of property investing right now is pretty crazy times in the UK.
Yeah.
So we're both in property. I own 31 properties. You've got over 90 rent-to-rent social housing deals.
Yeah.
So we're both in the game. So
Fully in there, man.
yeah. Do you agree that it's a bit crazy right now?
Oh, yeah, massively.
Yeah.
It's do you know what? Being in property, you've got to have so much resilience, man.
Yeah.
Like, you need to have thick skin,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, because there's so much changes and you've got to be able to adapt and pivot.
And like, is property still the best vehicle to like really, create passive income, create wealth if you're buying properties? What's your thoughts on it?
I would say, yeah, I'd say 100%. Obviously, there's lots of different asset classes. Property isn't the only asset class, but based on historical data, because that's what you can go on, isn't it? Like historical property is just a great method, a great way, a great vehicle to achieve that. And for me, you've got, this is why I love social housing, because you've got two ways. You've got obviously the buying side, creating the asset, long-term wealth. But then also what you want to understand is, are you getting the most cash flow out of that property? For me, buy-to-lets are dead. Like, I don't really like buy-to-lets at all. I wouldn't have any buy-to-lets because the cash flow from it doesn't excite me.
You mean just like a normal family?
Yeah, just a normal family buy-to-let. Not only that, the risk, no one really talks about this. The risk of a buy-to-let is absolutely huge. Like, if that tenant decides, I'm not paying you, and by the way, I'm not moving out.
Yeah.
Like, you're stuck with this property. And that tenant, you ain't getting them out for at least 6 or 9 months, especially with the UK courts. It takes ages.
Yeah, it's very one-sided towards the tenant.
Yeah.
And it's kind of going more that way.
Yeah, 100%. So you've got this asset. You may think, you might be relying on the cash flow from that asset, but it can all be switched off in literally very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So yeah, social housing for me is, the way forward.
Yeah, because it's crazy because I know you purchased a property. You made a lot of money just from keeping the property and owning it.
Yeah.
I've done the same. And, my mom, she really put me on to that because she bought a property for £80,000 like 25 years ago. Now it's worth like 420 or 430.
Crazy.
So I saw that and she would always kind of brag to me when I was a kid and saying like, this is what I did. Because she grew up very poor. So like she was really proud of what she did. So it kind of stuck in my head. And that's why I got so into buying the properties. I got obsessed with it. And capital appreciation is a great part about buying properties.
100%.
So even if the cash flow is a bit dead,
Yeah.
you still kind of have that capital appreciation,
Yeah.
but you can never bank on that.
So the capital appreciation is only good in some areas.
Yeah.
Like there are some cities in the UK where the capital
Stays dead.
appreciation is so dead.
Yeah, but to be fair, I saw that, and there was an area in Nottingham because I buy all of mine in Nottinghamshire. There was an area called Snenton, and I knew this landlord, and she had like 5 properties. They were falling to pieces, honestly. And I was trying to buy them off her, but I looked at the comparables, see what sold over the last, say, 20 years, and honestly, the growth was so stagnant. It was such slow, minor growth.
Yeah.
But then COVID hit, and for some reason, the prices went crazy in Snenton, and my friend capitalized on it because he bought one in Snenton. Do you know Jamil?
Yeah.
He bought one and did a renovation, but the capital appreciation in Snenton just went high. So I think it can be quite stagnant, and then you've got these massive peaks. It's crazy.
Yeah. What do you think investors can do to sort of mitigate that in terms of looking for a property and ensure that they do get capital appreciation from it?
You know what it is? I just focus on what I can control when I'm buying properties. That's why I've always focused on cash flow. Because I do think, I know you can get properties that will give you great cash flow, but also great capital appreciation.
Yeah.
So I think you can achieve both. But one thing you can control is the cash flow. You can't really control the capital appreciation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can buy in an area that's supposed to be up and coming, or an area that you think, this is going to pop off. They might be building like what was that whole thing? The train, the fast train in the UK.
Oh, the HS2.
HS2.
Yeah,
that was a
yeah.
big thing,
Yeah.
What happened with that?
I think they run out of funding.
Come on.
So it just got delayed, didn't it? It just got delayed and delayed. I don't know if it's back on, actually. I haven't been really keeping up to date with it. But yeah, I know that they started it in Birmingham and everyone was really happy. And then they just paused it for the foreseeable future.
So that's a great example. So someone could have just bought a property specifically because they was thinking, it's on the HS2, it's right close to the line. And then it didn't end up happening. So you can't really control that.
Yeah.
Whereas cash flow,
100%.
we know we can control how much cash flow we're going to make.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny as well because I remember when I was doing the maths, when I was looking to leave my job, I was like, okay, cool. I need to like save like 50 to 70,000 pounds. This is like 8 years ago to buy a property. But the maths was a math, and I was like, I'm gonna save all this money, put this into an asset, and then what net like £500 a month, or even less actually on a lot of buy-to-lets, like £300 a month for a lot of them. I'm like, wow, how many like £50,000 am I gonna need to save to be in a position where I've got enough cash flow from these buy-to-lets to then leave my job?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm sure. I was thinking to myself, surely there must be a better way.
Yeah. And you found a great way
Yeah,
for cash flow, which is rent to rent. You took it a bit extreme.
yeah,
Obviously, you got over 90 now, so
yeah.
you've really smashed it. But I've just got some points here. So, would you say that temporary accommodation, would you say it's a crisis in the UK in terms of people needing emergency and temporary accommodation?
Oh, massively. Absolutely massively. I speak to the councils. We obviously work in multiple councils across the UK, and you get to see the demand and how the councils are really suffering with this. But you know what? I always say this creates opportunities for entrepreneurs. It's a sad situation that there's so many people that are homeless, that are needing accommodation, but it's also created an opportunity where, entrepreneurs that are innovative, entrepreneurs that are curious, entrepreneurs that are able to spot a situation and say, okay, cool, I want to be part of the solution. It's created a phenomenal opportunity.
Yeah.
And there is a massive housing crisis in general in the UK anyway, but even more so in the temporary accommodation sector. There's so much houses that are needed.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, we've got a lot of students that are smashing it doing temporary accommodation. It's something I've, been really interested in. I think all of my properties, except for one, they're in Nottinghamshire. So I've obviously tried to get on the council, Nottingham Council on board. But I think I had to apply for like a tender to really get in with them. So I think, am I right in saying that some councils you have to like apply? It's very formal. You have to go through the application process to get in with them. But some councils are more relaxed and you can get in more informally.
Yeah, that's it. Certain councils are quite hard, tender process, and you have to bid essentially. I mean, the person who gets the best bid.
Yeah.
They might say we've got 5 positions to give to providers. Some councils are more, some councils are less, some councils might only take like 3. And they have their criteria of what they look for. Certain councils they don't go through the tender bidding system. You can just call them and just apply directly through them and just fill out an application form and then become a provider. And that's much easier.
Yeah, for sure. Because I know obviously right now the interest rates are quite high. A lot of my properties like 8.5% interest rate, 9% is probably the highest one I've got. When I started in property, the interest rates were like 3.5 or 4% on a HMOs, because all of mine are HMOs. So I got used to having those low monthly payments.
Yeah.
And then obviously I was doing more and more deals. When it came time to refinance, some of them have gone from 4% to 8%. So your mortgage payments gone from maybe £600 to £1,200 in a month.
Wow.
It does affect the cash flow.
Yeah, massively.
But I've also noticed right now, being a landlord, with this amount of properties, half of them are social housing ones, half of them are working professional. The working professional ones, honestly, are a nightmare. They are a nightmare.
Why is that?
I think it's a combination of things. I think the interest rates, those jumping up. Also, I feel like the government's laws in the UK, Labour came into party and they've really shaken things up.
Yeah.
And I think they've made the tenants, working professional tenants, feel very, very comfortable with not paying rent, with messing landlords about, and knowing that they're protected by the government. So I think a lot of landlords now, they just give up. And like, I've got a tenant that owes me like $5,000.
Wow.
I'm not even going to pursue it because I have to pay money to take him to court. But I'm being advised the guy doesn't have any money, so that's $5,000 loss on my side and my JV partner side. You know what I mean? So that's definitely a factor. And then obviously bills increased a lot over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So I think all of these different things, it's made it. Oh yeah, another big thing is management. In Nottinghamshire, there's a lack of good property managers. I've tried like 4 or 5 different companies now.
Oh, wow.
I'm losing my mind here. I'm trying to find a good company to really manage them. I've got one, but they just require so much input from me and my team. I'm thinking, you've only got like 10 properties that you need to look after that are mine. Surely you can get it all done.
Yeah.
So it's kind of stressful, but we're trying to get better systems and stuff.
Yeah, and this is the reason why, you know, when I teach rent to rent to, you know, our students, I talk about, you know, believing in themselves and believing in the power that we have as people providing the rent to rent service. Because like you said, the alternative for landlords are to go to a management company, letting agents, but like you said, a lot of them are not that good, unfortunately. Or the ones that are good, they, like you said, they require a lot of input from yourselves as landlords, and landlords don't want that. What landlords want is a passive, profitable solution, and that's what we provide as people that do rent to rent.
100%. That's it. And I can see why a lot of landlords want to exit right now.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm a firm believer in weathering the storm, because I do think things are going to get better. Rents are going to increase. I think I can get better management. I'm a believer. I feel like I don't want to give up. You know what I mean? I want to, like, you know, these working professional ones, I'm not giving up on them. I'm going to just ride it out. When interest rates come back down, we might save a massive chunk of money by just refinancing.
Yeah.
Capital appreciation as well over the next 10 years. I'm always thinking of the 10-year span, not the 2-year span.
Yeah.
That's why we got into this,
Thinking
for the long term.
Yeah, 100%.
But compared with my social housing ones, it is night and day difference. And I do wish that I got into social housing sooner. And honestly, like, anyone watching that thinking of getting into HMOs, do social housing HMOs. Don't do working professionals. You know what I mean? Because there's so much to it. So many more moving parts.
Yeah. If you can get the rates, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? I know in certain areas, like London and Manchester, it might work better if it's a super high-end HMO, like studios or en-suites in great locations. Then it might work out better to go with professionals because of the rates. But for the majority of the country, it works out much better and easier just to go with social housing because you get much better rates.
Sean, even with them high rates, it's like, if they don't pay, if they mess you about, it don't work out better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think I've got like 155 tenants in my whole portfolio, and like half of them obviously are working professional. A lot of them are messing about right now.
Wow.
I've noticed it. And I think a lot of it is down to the management, but sometimes I think the law, it takes a massive, what people see on a day-to-day basis, it just kind of gets engraved in their mindset, and they think, you know, like, but I'm a good landlord, I'm fair, but I do believe, like, if you want to stay, you have to pay.
Yeah. And it's a lot different here, isn't it? You know, in Dubai.
Oh man.
You don't get that issue.
Yeah, you don't.
Because the government is on the landlord side, and you can't just say, you know, you can't just rent a property in Dubai and say I'm just not paying.
Yeah.
And I'm just not leaving.
Yeah,
It doesn't work like that. So guess what happens? People don't come here with the view of messing about.
Yeah.
Or thinking that that's okay to do those things, because it's not okay.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, the landlord, you've got bills in that property with that tenant's messing about. You've got a mortgage to pay, and those things don't need to happen.
Yeah, and I think the UK can learn a lot from Dubai and how they're doing it. I think in Dubai it's more fair, it's more balanced.
Oh yeah.
For the tenants and the landlord, it's more fair because every single tenancy contract in Dubai, if it's like a long-term contract, like a normal, like an AST, the government gets involved in every single contract. It has to kind of be signed off by them. So that is great, and I think the UK should implement that.
Yeah.
And they use a lot of AI technology as well.
Oh yeah.
To make sure everyone's following the guidelines. They could easily implement that in the UK without doing this digital ID.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the digital ID?
The digital ID, to be honest with you, I think it's something that they would introduce and then slowly add more and more things where it's like, okay, now you're taking away my freedom.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know enough about it, to be honest with you, so I don't want to just like stop waffling on this podcast.
Yeah. But the thing is, the UK population do not trust the government after what happened in COVID. People consider their families.
Yeah.
the UK government was having parties,
Yeah.
like where people were dying and couldn't go to their funeral. So I think that's what the issue is. So the issue now is, since they introduce anything, the UK population is like, nah, I don't want to do that. I don't trust it.
Yeah, that's it. I saw this YouTube video the other day. I can't remember the YouTuber's name, but basically he went to the riots, the protests in London that happened the other week. Right now we're in September 2025. So these massive protests, a lot of it's like anti-immigration. So he's gone there and he's like interviewed random people, and then there's people, just straight racist people in the crowd that are just saying, yeah, like, I want everyone out that's not white.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I think it's on like 3.5 million views.
Yeah.
I think this is great video. You know what I mean? I think this is the kind of exposure what people are not really talking about. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. It's honestly, it's just mad what's going on out there right now. But as I always say, and I know you're the same as well, focus on what you can control, not what you can't.
Yeah.
The issue that you have is people will use all this negativity and they'll get drawn so much into it that they'll actually stop working on their own goals. I've seen it so many times. I've spoken to people and people will say, literally, I will say to them, what have you achieved like since we last spoke? And we'll just be talking about business and life. And they're like, oh, I would have done this, but you know, with what's going on with Labour, and I'm thinking, what? You let the government stop you from achieving your own goals, from pursuing your own goals. You actually gotta let the government. Like, you can't control the government.
Yeah.
You can't control a politician. You can only control your own actions.
Yeah.
That's what you can control. And if you always put in your the success, you're blaming the government, you're blaming the politician, you're never going to be successful, in my view.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And I think we're both on the same thing when it comes to that. Like, we're both very goal-orientated people. And it massively helps. So I think a lot of people need to really get onto their goals, write them down. There's something so powerful about writing your goals down. So Sean, just wanted to ask you as well, what would you say the misconceptions are for people that are working with the council? You know, like if they're doing temporary emergency accom, what's the misconceptions people have?
I think the misconceptions are that the councils are difficult to work with. And the reality is they're actually not. I think what it is, when you're working with the councils, they are, and fair play to them because they do have a tough job. They're very understaffed and they have a lot of work and they have a lot of complaints to deal with, etc. And that's what I see on a daily basis because I've been able to, you know, build a relationship with quite a few of them. So I can speak to them on a level. And what they want is people that are experts. So the issue is, and I've seen it so many times, even with students, new students, someone will call the council and they'll project themselves as an expert, someone that can give a lot of value and it really help the council out. That's the people who they want to work with. Someone else will call them who's not really sure about what they're saying. They can't really make sense of what they're saying either. And the council's like, look, you're wasting my time. Just like anyone else. You're going to remember that in the councils, there's normal people. They have a job. They have a department to run. And they don't have time to waste. So if you're calling them and you're unsure about what you actually want, how can you expect them to help you? Because if you call them and you're sure, you're like, look, this is what I want. This is what I can do. This is the vision. This is how I can help you. Like, that's what they want. Yeah. And you've got a much better way of getting in the council. And then once you're in the council, it's great because, you know, you have a point of contact. They're very easy to communicate with. And at the end of the day, you're providing value. And if they can see the value that you're providing them, they're gonna want to continue working with you and continue to build together as well. Yeah.
No, that's great, man. Honestly, yeah, it's good to know because I think some people might feel scared of the council. On the buying side or on my side, I used to be very scared of the council.
Yeah, because
I used to think that it was kind of the council versus landlords, but it's really not the case.
Yeah,
all you have to do is just communicate.
100%.
Communicate with the council. If you're buying a property, you're converting it to a HMO. I used to be scared to like ask them a question or, get them to visit. So yeah, 100%. I just started to communicate, ask them any questions. And people, obviously a lot of my students, they get confused between planning and HMO licensing.
Yeah.
Two completely separate things. So unfortunately, the planning department don't often work that well with HMO licensing. It's two different departments within the council. So you have to make sure both of these are boxed off. So if someone's doing a HMO conversion, my tip would be to email planning permission and just check, is this property, give them the full address, in an Article 4 area, question mark. Is it in a conservation area, question mark. Can I turn this property into a 6-bedroom HMO without the need to apply for planning permission? These questions, super important, and they will come back to you and they will give you the answer because they have to, you know? Sometimes planning can be a bit difficult, but it's more if you're asking about like more complex kind of deals, they can say, oh, you need to apply. You need to get pre-approval for us to reply to this. But for these kind of basic things, they will respond. And then the council, just ask them questions. You know, they've got separate email address, email them, ask them questions. You can call them as well. So yeah, any budding landlords, don't be scared of the council. So Sean, you recently had a post, you know, on Instagram, you know, went pretty viral. I think you had like 6,000 shares. It was about you and, you know, how you teach your kids. Talk to us.
Game changer, honestly. I am very passionate about my kids' education and self-education, because the school system doesn't teach them what they actually need to know. Like me and you, we both run, you know, 7-figure businesses. And when you think about what you learned in school, a lot of what you learned in school is not actually relevant in business. Like, so for me, I take it into my own hands. Like, to the point with my son, he actually goes to a hybrid school now. So we're taking him out the formal education so that he has the option to basically go in, but he also has the option to work from home as well. So in the work from home days, I can take it into my own hands to work with him and give him the skill set that he's going to need to go into life and propel and go forward, essentially. So I think it's really important.
Yeah. And you know what? My gut feeling tells me that your son is going to be very successful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's kind of in your bloodline now as well. Because your dad's a business guy, you're a business guy. No doubt your son's going to be a businessman as well.
Yeah, it's written, man. Honestly, yeah.
For any parents watching that want their kids to be more entrepreneurial, what tips would you give to them?
I would say reward creativity, like praise them, empower them to be creative, and pay them in proportion to that as well. That's what I did from a very young age. Teach them the basics, like what is an asset, what is a liability. Get them to constantly tell you what that is. Give them the examples and just say, like, look, what is this? That's what I judged to my kids from a very young age, and that just really helped them, so that when they go out now, when they have money, they clearly understand this is the asset, this is a liability, this is how I want to spend my money, this is how I add to it, this is how I multiply it, and this is how I make more money. And they understand that.
Because you run a very large property business. So do your kids get involved in that? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so they didn't get involved, but what you find is kids are very... they're very intelligent and they remember things a lot. So when they're sitting down and they're hearing me talk, they're in the car, they're listening to me talk. And I don't want to get directly involved. I will ask them about the conversation. I'm like, oh, did you hear that? Or I'll talk to them about the conversation to get them involved after. And that really helps them to sort of understand how business works. And you're showing them the real business life as well.
Yeah.
So they're seeing it raw, which is better than anything.
Yeah, to be honest, I've never met any kids that are so well behaved as yours, and they're just so nice, well spirited, well mannered. How have you done it? Like, what other tips could you give to any parents, just in general?
Yeah, I would say you just need to show them discipline. Show your kids discipline, correct them, nurture them, love them. And what I would say is chase your own goals. I think people and parents don't realize how powerful it is chasing your own goals, chasing your own vision, and getting the kids involved in that vision in terms of telling them, look, this is where I am now. This is where I want to be. This is what I'm going to do. And teach them, yes, like, I'm going to fail. Like, this is what happened today. Talk about your day to your children so they understand exactly what's happening. That's something that I have with my kids. We have adult conversations. There's no such thing as kids conversations. Obviously, there's certain things that are just not relevant to kids at all. But in terms of business wise, they know everything about business, about my business life, because I'm teaching them this. They're seeing it in like real time.
Wow, that's amazing. Honestly, I think a lot of people would gain a lot of value from what you just said, like implementing these tips. So yeah. When I become a dad myself, I will start doing this stuff as well, because I've seen you do it. It's really good, honestly.
I appreciate it.
Also, guys, if you need a mortgage broker, I'd recommend Mortgage Style. They are the best in the game. I've worked with a load of different brokers. It's been a nightmare, but Mortgage Style have always had my back. They've been there for me. They supported me, and they always find solutions. They really look after you. So I'll put the link in the description of this video as well. Mortgage Style, check them out.